Wait. So today I'm gonna tell you all about an experience that changed my life. Erasmus. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Bine ați revenit la mine pe canal. My name is Julia Manicucci, as you probably know, and I'm a Brazilian living in Romania, and I have lived in Italy, I have lived in Oxford, and today I came here to tell you about my Erasmus experience. A lot of you guys have asked me like, alright, now we know how you left Brazil and you arrived in Italy, but how the hell did you get to Craiova, to Romania, to Bucharest? So today I came to tell you everything about this story. That is not very hard, is not very complicated, but might be a little long. I want to tell you guys about studies related things. I want to tell you guys about accommodation related things. I want to tell you guys about my experience, about everything we learned, about how much money we got, how much money I spent, and stay until the end so you can see every single information. And let's start with the video about Erasmus and everything. For those who don't know, Erasmus Plus is a program, like a European Union program, that allows students from 31 countries to go abroad and study for a few months in another country. And I participated on this Erasmus experience. And if you guys have further questions, please leave here below together with your like, your subscription. I am gonna be like super ready and excited to answer anything you want to know. So, no further blah blah blah, let's start with the video. Basically, as I was telling you guys, if you are a European student and you have good grades and you have good credits, you can apply to this Erasmus program. And basically you have like a list of countries that accept your university, that have an agreement with your university, and you can go and you can study there for a while. It starts from 3 months and I think the maximum is 9 months. I want to say that no matter what field of the university you are, what faculty you do, I'm very positive that an Erasmus experience could be like the best moment of your academic life. And it's not only an academic experience, but it's also a life experience, an eye-opening experience, you know. Is a moment where you can learn a lot of how to live your life, how to take care of yourself, how to go to restaurants and order food and be prepared to eat whatever comes up there because you have no idea of what you ordered. You learn how to go to supermarkets and not understand anything that's in the label and still be able to cook with that food. So I think it's a very life-changing experience that you should do no matter what. Apply for Erasmus. English is very, very important for you to know. It doesn't matter if the country you are going is a country with English language already or not, but English is usually the main language of Erasmus, with the professors, with your colleagues, because it's an universal language. So if you don't know English very well, you could even start preparing a little bit and studying before, but you are for sure gonna learn a lot of English when you are in your Erasmus, so don't worry so much about that. For example, most of my Erasmus colleagues arrived there not speaking English at all, and when they left their Erasmus, they were speaking a pretty good one, so it is a very good opportunity for you to learn English if you don't speak it already, or to improve your English if you already have a little base. In my Erasmus, I learned that Spanish, Italian, Brazilian, Portuguese and Greek people are the soul of the parties, and we are much more similar than I ever imagined. I learned also that my Indian friends were cooking like gods, and there is nothing better than take a Turkish tea with our Turkish friend in the afternoon. I don't know, besides English and besides adulting, you learn how to appreciate different cultures. You start liking them as well, and even wondering like, why didn't I do that before, you know? As I was saying, if you are a student, a European student, it's not very hard for you to apply for this Erasmus Plus program. I don't know, I have always been very curious and I wanted to go to Erasmus. So there we went. Me and my Italian best friend, we were so excited that we applied. And we were pretty sure that we could get any spot that we wanted because we were smart girls, we had good grades, and we were like, let's apply to the best cities. So we applied to the following cities: Coimbra in Portugal, Barcelona, and Madrid in Spain. Yes, exactly what you guys are seeing. We wanted mucha festa, botellón, fiesta loca, ole, yeah, fiesta loca. But that's not how it happened. These cities were not a choice for criminology, our course. Like, bro, we didn't even check. We didn't even check. We had a list to check what countries we could go, what cities we could go. We didn't. We were so stupid, you know? We were like, it doesn't matter what they have. I'm gonna put here the cities we want, and what happened? These cities didn't exist for criminology, and we had to stay with the last choices, let's say, with the cities that still had some spots available. So we had Turkey, Poland, and Romania. After researching a little bit, talking to some friends that have been in Romania, seeing some pictures, we decided to come together to Romania, to a city that we haven't heard before, called Craiova. And to be honest, I didn't know anything about Romania. I knew that there was Dracula, I knew that it was cold, and I knew that the dragons from Harry Potter are from Romania, so that's not much. And yes, I came to Romania with my best friend from Italy, and it was a very nice experience. I want to talk to you guys more, like, in details about the things that you have to know, like accommodation, for example. Before coming to Craiova here in Romania, we received some messages on Facebook from some Erasmus organizers, some girls that were preparing everything for us. Very nice from them, thank you very much. And they were showing us like the pictures of the dorm and how it would be and etc. And the pictures are very nice, the dorm is very cute, but me and my Italian friend, since we were coming together, we decided to have a little bit more comfort and we decided to rent an apartment. Why did we decide to rent an apartment? Because the dorm, it's everything shared, you know, you have a room that you share with someone, with a toilet to be shared, obviously. The kitchen and the laundry are shared with the whole floor, so it's around 100 people sharing a kitchen and the laundry. If that's like not a big deal for you, I think the dorm could be amazing, but for me, to rent an apartment was much better because we had our own kitchen, we could do our own stuff in our own time, we didn't have to wait for anyone. Not to say that, guys, I think in any Erasmus, students are very messy, so the kitchen was always full of dirty dishes, not very well cleaned. So if you wanted to cook, you had to clean after someone that decided not to clean, or you had to wait a long time to have a little spot on the stove. So for me, the dorm was not the best choice, but if you like to order food, you're not a big fan of cooking every day and every time, maybe the dorm would be amazing. Also, the dorm is good because if you ever feel homesick, if you feel alone, if you feel sad for any reason, you always have like a friend. You can knock in someone's door and you're not gonna be alone. Also, the dorm had parties every night, so if you like to be closer to the parties, you could be in the dorm. I mean, we were still going to the parties, you know, but we had to walk a little bit more. That's it. I wanted to say the prices. The price of the dorm back then was 70 euro per person, okay? And the apartment I was sharing with my friend, it was 300 euro in total, so it was 150 per each. For me, it was worthy, you know, but it depends. Many people were very happy in the dorm as well, so it's all on you. I want to tell you guys also about the scholarship. I mean, you probably know that when you go in Erasmus, you receive some money from your university to help you to support your expenses in the country, in your receiving country. So me, since I was in Romania and my university considered not expensive country, I was receiving 230 euro per month. It's very nice because if I was staying in Italy I wouldn't have any money, so 230 euro was not enough for all the expenses, but helped a lot, of course. But also depends on the country and on the university, because my university was paying 280 euro to my colleagues that were in Finland, for example. And I also had friends from Erasmus that were from Greece, from Spain, and some of them were getting 500 euro per month for the Erasmus here in Romania. So again, it's gonna be depending only on your university and on the country that you are going. I want to tell you about friends and trips and everything else, parties or whatever, because this is the best part of Erasmus. Is like mega important, because that's when you actually learn English, and that's when you actually make your experiences for your life, right? My Erasmus was a very friendly one. Everyone was very connected, and since the beginning, you know? So in the first day that me and my friend from Italy arrived here in Romania, we went to the dorm, we knocked on the doors, and we made already 2 friends. Shout out to the big G and Yorgos from Greece that received us in the first day, and we went to the bar, we drank beer and whatever. Little by little, our Erasmus colleagues were arriving in Craiova, and not very long after, the crew was formed. So there were people from Brazil, me only, from Italy, from Portugal, from Greece, from Spain, from Turkey, from India. I think that's all. Our crew was formed and it was on fire. I could see that besides the parties that were like super nice and super exciting and everyone was super into the parties, we were all learning English much better, and also learning a little bit of each other's languages, you know. For example, Anaptira para calor, Chacmac a la Bilermin, Mechero por favor, Briquet s'il vous plaît, Accendino per favore, and that's all, guys. That's all. I didn't learn much more than that, but at least I learned a little bit. I feel like we were so immersed in this experience that everything was fun and beer. One of the best experiences that I have had in my Erasmus was the Halloween on the Brands Castle. We went all together, like Erasmus people from all over Romania, you know, from all over the world, making Erasmus in Romania, met in this party that was in the garden of Dracula, you know. There is a castle here in Romania that's called the Brands Castle. It's not like a super impressive castle, because you have better castles here in Romania that are more elaborated, that look like Disney castles. Brand Castle is not exactly like that, but it's interesting because it's known to be the Vlad Cepes castle, known as Dracula. So we spent Halloween in Dracula's garden, and that was insane. It was a lot of young people, a lot of people having fun, everyone dressed in very cool costumes, so it was amazing, unforgettable. If you ever come to Romania, try please to go to Brands Castle on Halloween, because the party is crazy and it's worth it. Besides that amazing experience in the Brand Castle, for me, the best trip I had in Erasmus was to Vama Veche. Transylvania is amazing. We had like the opportunity to see the trees, red trees, yellow trees, orange trees, everything that a Brazilian doesn't see usually. But Vama Veche was like my paradise, because it's like a vintage Woodstock-like beach with a lot of young people, tattoo shops, surfboards, and I don't know, it's that chill vibe, you know, that you're there to relax. If you like some peace, love, Bob Marley, I really enjoyed that vibe. So for me, Vama Veche was amazing. And I also have to tell you guys that we had the opportunity to go to a festival there to watch Subcarpazi, that is no doubt, unquestionably, blah, 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 my favorite band from Romania. Even though we were not speaking Romania or understanding anything of the music, of the lyrics, we were being able to enjoy the vibe, the people, like very friendly people, everyone speaking English, so super approved. Vama Vecchia, I loved. We went camping. Oh guys, it was roots. I loved. And least but not less important, the studies. I know it's mega important and we have to talk about it, because for me it was the hardest part of my Erasmus. It was to find like subjects in Romania that would match my subjects in Italy, because like your professors, they have to approve, you know. For example, if you have history in your hometown and you want to go to make history in your Erasmus, you have to make sure that the credits are the same and that your professor from your home country is gonna accept the exams from Erasmus. It's a long process. You have to be communicating with your professors. You have to make sure that everything is fine, you know, your studies plan and everything is alright and it matches your curriculum frameworks. For me it was especially hard because many professors in Italy, they are not available. They are everything but available, you know. If you have professors that are willing to help you, that are willing to be there and say, hey, let's take this subject from this and substitute for that, and let's do this and that, could be better for you. So it's hard, it's tiring, so follow the rules, do whatever your professors say, make some effort these few months, so you make sure that everything is gonna be fine in your Erasmus and you're not gonna have problems with exams and credits and anything, so you can enjoy the experience at the maximum. It's very important to say too that usually the exams in Erasmus, they are less hard than your exams in your hometown, because the professors tend to be more understanding. If you have a hard time trying to express yourself, they are gonna be more understanding because they know that you don't speak necessarily so well English nor their language, so there is a little bit more of flexibility over there. So if you have some exams delayed, take the opportunity of Erasmus to do more exams, to take more credits. You have a maximum limit of credits that you can reach, but in any case, you can take more exams than you would normally take. Take as much exams as you want. Just don't forget that Erasmus is not necessarily only an academic experience, it's also a life experience. It's your opportunity to go out of your world, you know, to think out of the box, to discover new things that you probably never thought that they could be there. Even though back in 2016 I put in that list that I wanted to go to Barcelona, Lisbon or Coimbra and Madrid, I don't regret that I came here at all, because here I found like a place that I would not have visited otherwise, and now I have an amazing job, an amazing boyfriend, I have amazing friends, I know a country that's like incredible, and I am very happy here for 3 years in a row. So yeah, every experience is a blessing, every experience is a lucky day, you know, and you have to always to take the best out of it. So apply to wherever you want to go, but even if you don't take those places, go somewhere. Just go in new experiences, just find out new stuff, just talk to everyone, try all the food. I want to thank you all, because besides all of that, I also have my Romanian skills. So guys, like, subscribe, comment, let me know if I missed anything, if you wanted to know anything that I didn't say. And that's it, see you in the next video. La rivedere. Papà, arrivederci. Bye, ciao. Adios. Adios. How do you say ciao in Greek?